What's going on, everyone? Let's get right into it. I'm going to give a couple more examples on borderline personality issues. And you know what? In you have instances where there could be other factors playing also into a person's life who has borderline personality disorder, where everything is not just the person is completely a BPD person. They have other issues going on also that tie in with BPD. So it can be depression, anxiety, etc., etc. But there's some issues. I made a video in regards to examples of women who have borderline personality and how it affects their partners. And there are a couple more examples I have to add to that. Here we go. Borderline women, or women who have borderline personality disorders. A lot of times when they can't get their way, and by way meaning if it's whatever it is, if they cannot get their way, that will create a huge problem for whoever is not allowing them to give them what they want. It'll be a huge problem. It'll start small and then escalate very quickly. And it doesn't make any sense. See, it's not supposed to make sense. For the person who doesn't have BPD, you're looking at it you're looking at the behaviors of the person with BPD, and you're saying to yourself, well, this doesn't make sense. It's not supposed to make sense. It's supposed to be irrational. It's supposed to be illogical. This is the world. This is how they respond. This is how they live. That's the disorder. See, before I get into that, I'm going to continue with the examples. Okay? The first example I just mentioned right now is they have issues when they can't get their way. So naturally, what happens to a child when a child doesn't get their way? You'll have tantrums. They'll have tantrums. Act out, and cry and create a disturbance of some sort to say, hey, look at me. You're not giving me what I want, so I'm going to create these problems. That's what they do. Borderlines also can feel, let's say you abandon them, right? Or they have the sense, because they fear abandonment. And let's say something happens where you cease communication, because at some point there's no talking to a borderline. You can't reason with a borderline. As far as try to explain, no matter how many times you try to reason with them, it's not going to work. You won't be successful. So when you cease communication, and let's say you stop talking and you take a time out, all of a sudden they will express how they feel a void. They feel some type of emptiness. Many borderlines feel that way. They have emptiness. They feel empty. The part of the reason is because they don't know who they are. Borderlines have no idea who they are. So they need these external factors, these things happening in their lives to constantly go on. And when it stops, or if you, as a player in their life, as an actor in their movie, in their life, when you stop being that actor, it creates a disturbance because they do not know who they are. They feel lost. They feel empty. So they fear abandonment. Okay. You know, how do you, another thing, and this may not, again, this is why I say there are characteristics that might not fall under the purview of borderline, but, you know, these things can, I guess, coexist. These characteristics can also coexist with someone who's borderline. Borderlines will also try to criticize you and judge you for something that they don't like that you're doing. And they'll do the same thing, and that's fine. Let's say they don't like how you leave the water running. For example, you're in the home and you constantly leave the faucet running. They have a problem with you doing it, but they can leave the faucet running all day and it's not a problem. That's just an example. Or I'm gonna do one even better. Borderlines, because they vie for all of your attention. They vie for all of your attention. They want to be your number one sole focus. They want you to concentrate only on them. If they could have it their way, you would be on them like white on rice. You would be on them like saran wrap. They would want you to just be at their beckoning call 25 hours, 8 days a week, if possible. So they can have an issue with you interacting with someone or having some type of, interaction with someone, right? They don't want you to interact with this said person for whatever reason. Meanwhile, you have an issue with someone they're interacting with, a so-called friend. Because let me be even more specific. You can have a borderline who will tell you, I don't like this person that you talk to all the time. This person could be a friend, right? They'll say, I don't trust this person. This person's up to no good. They don't need to be in your life. And they'll ask you and actually give you a request for you not to deal with this person anymore. Subtle. It's subtle. But they have someone in their corner who also you may feel doesn't have their best interests, who also can't be trusted, who also doesn't need to be in their life, but they will keep that person in their lives. After you request, you do the same thing. You request for that person not to be in their life, right? You want me to do this? I'm asking you to do the same thing, for example. They'll even lie to you and say, okay, I did it. And then you come to find out it's not true. They kept that person. Meanwhile, they're criticizing you for. So it's the contradiction. The lies and deceptions. All of these characteristics that cause a breakdown. Now, let's go even further. Sometimes when we talk about, and this is a heterosexual relationship I'm talking about here, the nature of a heterosexual relationship, and a woman who has a male friend. Male friend. Let's earmark male friends. You know the thing about male friends? Some male friends have agendas. And that's, everyone has some type of agenda of some sort, I believe. I could be wrong. But certain male friends who hang around you, especially if you're an attractive woman, certain male friends, all they want to do is have the chance to sleep with you. So they will hang around for as long as it takes. They will be around you, even extend favors for free to you so you can win their confidence. So you can pretty much grow to trust them. Because this male friend, see what men do sometimes, because I'm going off the topic a little bit, but borderlines play the victim. Borderlines play the victim often, and then when you're trying to help the borderline see something from a different perspective, they don't understand what you're saying, even though what you're saying is the truth. So I'm giving you an example. This borderline has a quote-unquote male friend, and the borderline doesn't understand why the male friend is offering her free gifts, or why the male friend would offer services to others or products to others at a price, but to her, the product is free. He's even inquired, why all of a sudden last year you were offering, I was going to pay for this, now you're giving it to me for free. There are other ramifications and factors in place. So, and you're looking at the situation and you're like, okay, well, the male friend supposedly is married, might have a family, children, who knows, but this male friend, what interest all of a sudden has this male friend has that it's not about that. The male friend always had an interest, because the bottom line is this. With certain men who are friends, male friends, all they're waiting, if she were to give that man an opportunity to be with her and be with her on an intimate level, he would take it. Certain women don't understand that. Certain borderline women can't understand that. But see, borderline women try to play that insecurity role because they are insecure and want to invoke some type of jealousy out of their partner, some type of jealousy out of whoever they're, in a relationship with, so that in some way that can prove how much they're loved. When you're dealing with people who are secure, creating issues to promote jealousy out of nowhere what good can come out of that? What good can come out of that? You have then that's only going to create disrespect. It's going to foster lack of trust, and then the love or whatever strength foundation you had in the relationship starts to crumble. Starts to crumble. But yeah, going back to that real quick, certain men, all they wait for is an opportunity to slide right in, literally. They're waiting for that moment where they can slide right in. So they're going to do all the right things and wait for as long as they can, because some will just wait even years for the opportunity for them to slide right in. It is what it is. It is what it is. Like, share, and subscribe to my videos. But again, that's what borderlines do. There's some of the things that borderlines, there's some of the things that women do. When you have if you can't go a certain period of time without having some type of conflict, without being constantly in a battle, constant type of battle or struggle in your relationship, where you can't go a week, you can't go 2 weeks, you can't go a month, 6 months, whenever, however, not even 6 months, you can't go to these certain periods of time without having some type of issue that comes up that can seemingly appear to be petty. And to the borderline, it's not petty, but the borderline will also engage in petty issues. It's very, very, if you constantly find yourself in these problematic situations, at some point, when do you say enough is enough? When do you say, okay, something has to change? I don't know. I don't know. But something has to change at some point. Something has to give. Something has to break. And there has to be some form of breakthrough at some point. At some point. I'm not saying borderlines are perfect. I'm not saying borderlines are far from perfect. No human being is perfect. But, you have these issues that are plaguing you, that are affecting every aspect of your life. You don't want to admit it. You don't want to come to terms with it. But you expect everyone to conform to your reality. Doesn't work. That's why you have chaos. Because you're working from a state of influx of negativity, constant. Everything is about what's a war. Everything is about a conflict. Everything is about a drama. It's that serious. But you have to learn to manage it. Everything doesn't warrant, a 911 SOS, extreme urgent need. Everything is not urgent. But for a borderline, it is. It is. Everything is serious. Everything on a scale of 1 to 10, everything is at a 10 for a borderline. That's where managing your emotions comes in. But you have to want it. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. Like, share, and subscribe to my video. Be well, people. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Okay? I'll talk to everyone soon.